Welcome back to Hardly Minding My Business. I am your host, Dashing D. And you know what this is. This is your weekly dive into just about everything that is on my mind and everything that I've been paying attention to, from pop culture to current events to just the bullshit going on in my own life. Yeah, so welcome back if you've been here before, and if you're new, welcome, and I hope you'll decide to stay. So let's get into it. Just when I felt like I was getting my head above water again, I just feel like it just keeps pulling me back down. I don't know what's going on. And I feel like I'm in a place where I'm starting to withdraw a little bit. Like, I kind of just want to be to myself for a little bit. I don't really like those periods. I feel like they're necessary, just to kind of regroup and, get back to what's important, and to kind of just give myself a break. But I also feel really guilty when I retreat because I feel like the people around me end up suffering because I'm not available to them. And I try to be as available as I possibly can be to the people I care about. So sometimes it's hard to manage that. But I realize, and I've said this before, that I have to prioritize self. And I'm getting to the point where my work days are sometimes so hectic that I don't even have time to call people back or get up with friends after work. Sometimes I just get so tired and things become a lot. So I am, I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to get better at that. Sometimes it's hard though. Sometimes it is very, very stressful. I'm just tired. I am truly tired. It has been a long couple of weeks, a long few weeks. And I think that I'm just so quickly I was relaxed. As quickly as I was relaxed from taking a vacation several weeks ago, I feel like burnout is coming, and I am trying to stop it in its tracks, but I feel like the only thing right now that I have that's kind of keeping me get back to reality, it's putting me in a different state, is this podcast. And the other one that I do, I feel like it's, I'm trying to make everything work. But it happens, right? Sometimes you just gotta roll with whatever comes. It's not always gonna be good, and it's not always going to be what you need it to be or what you're hoping it should be. But things happen the way they happen when they need to happen. So that being said, I am, doing the best that I can, and that's really all I can give. I mean, in terms of updates, what's going on? Work is crazy. I said that already. Valentine's Day happened. I hope y'all had a good Valentine's Day. I hope that your Valentine's Day was filled with lots of love. Honestly, and I think if you've been here, you know how I feel about this. Valentine's Day is cute and whatever, but I like to show the people I care about that I love them regularly. So Valentine's Day is just kind of one of those, days where it's cool to do something nice for someone or have something nice done for you, but it's not really what's important. Kind of like any other day, any other occasion or whatever. It's more of a, okay, I'm gonna be thoughtful today, as opposed to try to be thoughtful with your people every day of the year, or at least often enough, right? So that's really important to me. I'm the person who will, like, you know, if we're gonna meet up or whatever, I'll bring you treats. Or if I see something that made me think of you, I will, I'll take care of you in that way. I like to see people I love feel loved by me. That's really important to me. That the people around me feel cared for and loved. So Valentine's Day doesn't really, I tell the story all the time about the fact that my mom used to make sure that Valentine's Day was like an important thing in our house. So I never really, by the time I got to the point where it would be like me and a significant other, or me and just, you know, a guy that I liked or whatever, it wasn't really about that for me. So yeah, I keep my Valentine's days light. And we don't have to get into all of that, but I just wanted to say, like, I hope that everybody felt loved, and I hope that you continue to feel loved as the days go and weeks, months go by, that you continue to feel loved, whether it be love from someone, whether it be romantic or familial or friendly or just your own self-love. Please make sure you indulge in that. It's a beautiful thing. So that's my little Valentine's Day thing. I didn't really get to give y'all like my usual, hey, don't do this, don't do that. This is how Valentine's Day should be speech last week. Full transparency, like, I think there are topics that we were supposed to talk about that I didn't get to because I don't go into the office often. And the last time I went into the office, I left my podcast notebook there, and I haven't been back since then, which was before the last episode was recorded. And honestly, I'm freaking out, and was freaking out last week because I realized that there were a bunch of topics that I wrote down that I wanted to talk about that I cannot remember. Yes, I still write things down in a notebook. I don't want to put it in my phone. Please don't suggest that to me. It's just not going to happen. I have tried to do it. I lose the notes in my phone and all kinds of stuff like that. I don't have a truly organized system when it comes to that. So I prefer to write things down. The only thing is I gotta remember to bring my notebook everywhere, which is fine. It's like a little thin notebook like this. And this is like my backup podcast notebook that I've been writing in for the past week, but that's the one that has like all the stuff in it. So I think that we skipped over some stuff. Like, I think that I started to remember that we didn't even talk about how the TJ Holmes and the Amy Robach debacle ended. They both got fired from their jobs. I'm sure you know that by now. I don't really think there's a whole lot to say there. I think that a lot of people think that the reason Amy specifically was fired was, you know, to avoid the appearance of discrimination. Even though TJ apparently got around the office. But neither here nor there. As I said, I believe I said before, and if I haven't said it here, like, it's not a crime to cheat. It just isn't. So, you know, do with that what you will. If he violated his conduct clause in his contract and her the same, well then, you know. What I'm curious about is they basically tried to paint her as a drunk, and I need more intel on that. Like, what is that true? I don't know if we'll ever find that out, but there were a lot of, they cited several instances where she was intoxicated at work, or that she kept alcohol in her dressing room. I don't really think it's weird that someone would keep alcohol in their dressing room, but that's just me. I mean, I do this podcast and sometimes I have alcohol, but I guess, you know, I'm doing this in my home. I'm having coffee. This is my second coffee of the day. But this one I made this in the Keurig, and it's like a holiday blend coffee with some French vanilla creamer, and then I added some Fireball because I said, oh, I got to do the podcast and I'm feeling a little low energy, so let me give myself a little kick with the Fireball. And yeah, it's hitting. It is. But yeah, we didn't get to talk about that, and I guess it's not really that big of a deal. We just did. But yeah, I'm sure there's other things that we were supposed to get to and we didn't get to. My bad, y'all. I don't know when I'm getting that notebook back, which means some of those topics will just be skipped because they're out of date at this point. So that's really all I gotta say about that. In terms of like what I'm doing to preserve self, just to go back a little bit, and in terms of what I'm doing to, you know, get focused, I've been running a lot more. Like I know I've shared that I've been working out several times a week. I've kind of just been adding workouts to the week. Even if it's like not as much as I would do on a normal day, even if I just go run for like 20 minutes in the middle of my day or whatever, I've just been trying to do that because to me, it helps me focus. It clears my head. I don't have to think about work. Where I run, I don't get service. So it's perfect because I can completely unplug for a short period of time and just focus on me. And that is really important. So yeah, but that's about it in terms of updates. Petty or nah, I realized that I don't like small talk, which is funny because I do this podcast and I spend like 10 to 15 minutes talking about myself and like random shit that's going on and whatever. I don't really consider that small talk though. I consider that, you know, updates. I'm letting y'all know what's going on. I could have started talking about how it's been 65 degrees the last 2 days and why the fuck is it so warm? Or I went outside without a jacket or a coat and I felt great. I could talk about that, but I didn't because that to me is the small talk banter that I am not interested in. I get extremely frustrated when I like log onto a Zoom meeting and people are talking about the weather for 10 minutes. I think it's a waste of time. I really do. And I'm not saying that we can't have conversations about weather because weather happens every day. But it's kind of annoying. I get really frustrated. I find myself not being early to meetings, like just entering as soon as the meeting time starts because I don't want to be involved in the small talk that happens before a meeting starts. I really just don't care. I'm not interested. That's my petty or no. I don't want to talk about the weather. I'm sorry. I'm not interested. I just don't. Thank you, but no thank you. Like, I don't even know what to say about that. We don't have a lot to talk about today. So this one is probably gonna be real quick. Let me raise this a little bit. I don't want to flash y'all. So what do we have to talk about today? The Super Bowl is the big one, right? So let's talk about the Super Bowl. Rihanna performed. Do we have to talk about the game? Who won? The Chiefs won. Is that correct? Y'all know I don't know. I did not watch the Super Bowl. I only watched the halftime show, and then I caught clips of the not pre-show, but the beginning where they do the national anthem and all of that. So I did see the video of Babyface doing America the Beautiful, which I love Babyface, y'all. Like, I love Babyface. Like, Babyface for me is up there with Whitney Houston, like, and Erykah Badu, and like, you put on Babyface any time of day for me and I am good. Same thing with like Jodeci. Like, there's just certain things that I will always listen to and there will be no complaints if you put them on, right? I always talk about how I'm an old soul, so you know, you shouldn't be surprised. But there are just certain artists from like that have been around or are not around anymore, but were around for so long, or whatever the case may be, that I could just listen to them any time of day, no matter what's going on. I don't care whether I'm sad or I'm happy or whatever, I could just listen to them. So I love Babyface, probably more than a lot of other people too, right? But Kenneth, sir, the song was arranged beautifully, because one thing Mr. Edmonds is going to do is he is going to arrange the fuck out of some music, okay? It was arranged beautifully, but it was almost too beautiful for the Super Bowl. Yeah. But I love you, Kenneth. You know, you did that. It was just very like, it was like a ballad, but at the Super Bowl, and it felt weird to me. It felt like it didn't belong, and that was fine. I mean, you know, listen, I'm always going to cheer on the blackness of it all, so I'm not gonna complain, but Kenneth, I don't, sir. Anyway, this was also really important. This was also a really important moment because the Black National Anthem was sung, Lift Every Voice and Sing. It was sung by none other than Sheryl Lee Ralph, who is getting a lot of play right now, and I love it. I love her. I think she's amazing. I think she's been amazing for a very long time, and she was just not getting the recognition that she deserves in all of the spaces that she deserves to get that recognition. So I thought it was beautiful. I also thought it was really great that, or really sweet, as a matter of fact, that her daughter is the one who styled her, and she looked beautiful. Her hair looked beautiful. She was wearing this very over the top, yet very appropriate for what she was doing. I believe it was a dress. She looked great. She sounded great. I thought it was lovely, and I thought the cherry on top for both of them and for their family, period, is that her daughter was able to style her for it. I just think that's really cool. I love to dress my mom up. So to me, that really sat with me. I was like, oh, this is so cute. And imagine like she's going on in such a public and such a highly watched moment. And the fact that they were able to collaborate on that, I just think that's really sweet. And I hope that, you know, that opens doors for her too. So yeah, I thought that was cool. And then Rihanna. So let's talk about it, because there's much to say. Rihanna, we knew that Rihanna was headlining. We were very excited that Rihanna was going to headline. And your girl came through. The performance, well, first of all, she comes out, she's on like a riser that has these I don't know, these wires. I'm sure they're very sturdy, but I can't even say that I'm really afraid of heights. It's not that I'm afraid of heights so much, it's that I would be nervous to be standing on something that only has X amount of surface area around me. That is where the concern comes in. Heights don't really freak me out as much. I've never actually ended up going skydiving, but I've always wanted to do it. I've been ziplining, I've been parasailing, I've gone on roller coasters that go really high. Like, the height of it all doesn't totally freak me out. I think I am one of those people, if I look down, I'm like, oh shit. And then there have been times where I've been on a plane before and I've been like, you know, you ever just get lost in thought? And there's been a couple of times where I've been on a plane and I've been like, there's literally nothing underneath us right now but a whole lot of air, and who knows what's like way down there. But in terms of like being like deathly afraid of heights, like, no, I won't go up there, I don't feel that way at all. And I'm pretty open to doing things. I always say that you could convince me to do things that are high up or on land way more than you can convince me to do like water things. So I noticed that and I was like, ooh, girl. But then she immediately touches her belly. And I see that and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then I'm like, wait, is she pregnant? So of course I hit the FaceTime and I hit somebody up and I was like, yo, is she or isn't she? Because that's what you do, right? You hit up like a friend or like someone you're cool with and you ask them the question. You don't go on Twitter and say, hey, is Rihanna pregnant? Because that's weird. And to be fair, she was, I would say, fairly visibly pregnant, right? So I don't think it was odd for us to have a reaction of, is this person pregnant or not? But I think it's odd when people feel like they should go on the internet and ask other people if somebody's pregnant. Like, would you do that in person? That's weird. That's just so fucking weird. Like, wait and see what happens and let somebody say something or something like that. We later found out that yes, she was grabbing at her belly. She was rubbing her belly and she is very much so pregnant with her second baby, which congratulations to her. But it was just kind of weird and I was just like, oof, this is odd. I kept going on Twitter and every time I would refresh, which she actually broke Twitter at one point, but every time I would refresh, I would be like, okay, y'all really asking that? Okay. I thought we were past the stage of life where we openly speculate about a woman's pregnancy, but it's fine. I get it. It was out there. It was available to you to see, and y'all love the internet. Y'all love asking shit to strangers, but it's fine. As far as, so let's get that out the way, because that was the first thing I noticed, right? But then her performance, I thought the performance was really good. I think that people have these expectations of what performances should look like. I am not a performer myself, and so I don't know how I can hold someone to a certain standard that I can't even meet. I also think that we do this thing where we compare and contrast artists and we know what we like from another artist, so we want to see that from, somebody else that we like. You're not always going to get that. You're not going to get Beyonce level performances from Rihanna because that's just not what Rihanna does. I don't want to bring up anybody else. I don't want to make comparisons. All I want to say is I was happy to see her. It had been 7 years since Rihanna performed live. So this was a really pivotal moment. She's also the only person who has ever performed at the Super Bowl pregnant, which I don't think people realize how huge of a deal it is to perform at the Super Bowl. I don't think people really put a lot of thought into the fact that the Super Bowl is the most watched, the most attended event, televised event, period, in this country. I don't think people really make sense of that in their minds. This is the one thing that we all agree on watching. Like, maybe there's some people who don't watch for one reason or another, especially in the last few years. But for the most part, the Super Bowl is the one thing that almost everyone in the country is watching. So couple that with all of the people who are actually in the building and there, it is a big deal to perform at the Super Bowl. I think we all know that it's a big deal to perform at the Super Bowl, but I think the fact that you could even get up there, get on a riser pregnant, I kept saying, listen, I don't know if you could get me to get up there pregnant. I just don't know. I would have seen the wires and been like, you want me to put me and my baby up there? No. No, I just don't. I don't see how we could do that. I don't see how me and the baby could do that. But listen, we are all built differently. I am not Rihanna, okay? And I'm excited that she was out. I'm excited that she did songs that I love. I'm excited that she showed up and she did her thing. She made sure she showcased Fenty, which I think we can all agree that is one of her major priorities right now, outside of starting her family, and building her family, I should say, at this point. But Fenty is very important to her. Her dancers were wearing Fenty. I've heard the memes and the jokes. I've seen the memes and I've heard the jokes about people saying that her dancers were supposed to be sperm fertilizing an egg, which is weird. But just so y'all know, if you look into it, her dancers were not wearing white. They were wearing light pink, if that means anything to anybody. But I thought it was great. I had a good time. I was sitting at home on my couch, so I don't really know what I should have expected beyond what I got. But yeah, I understand that people felt it was not what they would have liked it to be, or they thought that there should have been a lot more pomp and circumstance. And I mean, I get it. Like, I think we all get out of it what we want to get out of it, right? So if you were looking for something else and you were looking for something more, then of course you're going to rate it low on the scale. But for me, like, I was happy to see Rihanna performing, and I was excited that, like, she ain't been giving us music or performances in several years, but she got up there. Listen, I probably would have been like, again, you want me and my baby to go up there? And okay, I guess. I don't know though. So I mean, listen, I hope we get new music, but we probably won't. We'll just have to keep buying the makeup and the clothes, the makeup and the undies and things. We just have to stick with that, and that's fine. Listen, my favorite part of all of this is the still images of Rihanna, like her facial expressions that she was making, some of the angles that people captured. Just, oh, great. I loved it. I love a good still, okay? Video is great because obviously there's movement, there's life, but if you can take a good ass still image of someone, like, I'm gonna take that any day. So that was my take on the halftime show. I had a good time. I sang along, I danced a little bit, I was good. But, to anybody who did not like it or did not agree, I hope that next year you enjoy it. Whoever it is. I mean, that's, all we can hope for, right? So what's next? I told y'all I don't really have a whole lot. Let me check the notebook because, my brain is fried. Oh, how could I forget? So, and speaking about Rihanna is actually on the cover of British Vogue for March. Her baby boy, and A$AP Rocky, they look really good. This was like a really good shoot. I loved it. There's more images of the baby in the spread. Images of her alone. I'm happy for her. Like, she seems to be thriving, and really that's all that matters. I gotta read the article. I heard the article is actually a really good article. I do this all the time where I talk to y'all about these magazine covers and I haven't read the article yet. I need to do better and start reading the articles before we get into whatever we get into. But yeah, I'm really excited to read it because I heard it is a good read. She talks about her life now and what it's like to be a mom and all of that. So I'm really excited for her. And it was like perfect that it came out It got released this week after the Super Bowl happened several days ago. So very exciting. I feel like Vogue has been doing some really interesting things lately. We talked about Erykah Badu last week, who, by the way, was on Tamron Hall. I have to watch it. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm gonna watch that and report back, because I mean, Erykah Badu, we can talk about her all day. I also noticed that your boy Michael B. Jordan is emerging again. And what I mean by that is, we were seeing him, like, you were seeing him out when he was with Lori, but they broke up. It's been a while since they broke up now. You weren't really seeing him for a while, but now he got a lot of shit going on. I think he was still working on things as it pertained to Creed. He's making his directorial debut with Creed 3. We will be watching, because him and Jonathan Majors in the same room at the same damn time with all the muscles and things. I mean, just, they're gonna have their clothes off a lot in that movie. Like, a lot. Like, have you seen the promos for it? Because it's coming out soon. It's March 3rd, okay? And I will be going to see Quantumania this weekend to see Jonathan Majors be a villain-ass villain. Yeah, so he's back on the scene. He did SNL a couple weeks ago. I think we talked about that here. I cannot remember, because that might have been in the notebook. But he did SNL recently. He's been popping up a little bit more. He's been out and about, and you know what that means. Projects are coming. Things are lightening up on his end, and he's getting ready to bask in the excitement of this new project that's being released. I'm really excited because, again, he's making his directorial debut. He's produced things before, but this is like a huge deal for him. So, shout out to him. We're really excited about that, and I think that's going to be good. I'll be there. I said when I finally watched The Wire, when was it, last year? When I finally watched the entire series, I said anything that Wallace does after the way they did Wallace on The Wire, I made a promise that anything Wallace does, I will support, because that was fucked up. So here we are. Unless he does some fucked up shit, I'm with him. I'm gonna be right there. So this next one, Creed 3, is going to be a part of that. I gotta see it. I've seen the first two. I gotta see how it ends, or maybe not ends, but I gotta see what the next chapter is. So I will definitely be going to see that. And then I think the last thing we need to talk about is what I'm watching. I actually had this artificial intelligence dating app thing that I wanted to talk about, but I think I'm gonna leave that for next week, because I want to do a little bit more research on it. So let's just jump into what I'm watching. I've been watching Harlem. We are 4 episodes in. They're releasing the episodes 2 at a time, so there will be a total of 4 drops, 8 episodes, 4 weeks in a row. It's on Amazon Prime. Harlem was great last season, and I was really excited for Harlem to start this season. I think I talked about it briefly last week, that we get some things resolved in the first couple of episodes, and the girls are back at it and trying to figure out their lives. Some of them seem to have more of a handle on what they want and what they're going after in their lives, which is nice. Episode 3 was hilarious. Episode 3 was hilarious. I don't want to give too much away, but episode 3 was hilarious. Let's just say there were a lot of edibles involved in episode 3, and it was really funny and made me think of a lot of stuff. I don't think I've ever had that much fun doing anything like that because I'm someone who falls asleep. So I love a good nap. Give me a nap after really anything. Like after I finish drinking this with the Fireball in it, I'm probably gonna need a nap. But I'm gonna edit the podcast first, I promise. I'll probably need a nap though, and that's fine. I usually need a nap. I'm like a little baby, but you know, it's fine, whatever. So yeah, so I saw that, that was that. I'm trying not to talk too much about it because I know that it like just dropped. And there should be a new episode tomorrow. I'm recording this on Thursday, so there should be 2 new episodes tomorrow. It's moving kind of fast in terms of like having 2 episodes at a time, but I guess, hey, I like to binge, so I'm not really mad at it. I don't know. I almost feel like either give me all of the episodes or give me 1 at a time, even though it annoys me and I get frustrated and I'm like, oh, I have to wait another week. But I like for that to go on then, because what's gonna happen is next week, the last 2 episodes are gonna be released and I'm gonna watch them and then I'm gonna be like, okay, what now? So we're not getting episodes the following week. I don't know. There's no science to it and the way it happens, and I don't know. I'm never going to be satisfied. When it comes to the way we get content these days, I'm probably never going to be satisfied, and that's fine. What else do we have to get to? Oh, did I talk about She-Hulk? So She-Hulk has been around for a while, so I can speak freely about She-Hulk. I hated it. I thought it was terrible. I thought it was like, it just got progressively worse as the season went on. And then when Homegirl like climbed out of the Disney Plus screen and into another show or whatever it is it was just fucking weird. It was weird. It was like the show clearly was to target a certain demographic. I would even say I am among the demographic it was supposed to target. Single women of a certain age, blah, 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 blah. But then it also tried to be cool in a way that reeked of like, I am old and I want to be down, or I am old and I want to be hip. It didn't flow naturally. It felt like whoever wrote it was trying really hard to be one of the cool kids, and just, it did not land. It did not make any sense in terms of the way that it was written. It was actually pretty terrible. Like, again, it just tried to be cool. I think if it had the same themes and they tried a lot less to like adopt lingo that is of today, and they tried less to be, I don't know how to explain it. It was just really weird. And then the way it ended was just really weird. Like, so she just gets to, if you listen, these are spoilers. So you might want to go if you haven't seen it and want to see it. But like, she just kind of walked away. Like, she just kind of rewrote what she wanted to happen, and that was the end. And I was just like, what happened to the real story? This is crazy. This is nuts. This is bizarre. And I totally understand people are trying to create television that is of the now and that addresses issues that have come up in recent years in terms of gender equality and the way women are issues of race and diversity and LGBTQ plus issues. I totally understand that there are a lot of people who create that are trying very hard to incorporate these things because I guess they think that that's what people want and that's what's trendy and that's what makes sense to do. But you have to be able to do it in a way where it can resonate with the people who are watching. If you're just like throwing a bunch of themes and ideas into something because you think that's what people want, then no, it'll probably not come out right. I think that there are certain shows that actually do these things very gracefully and very creatively, and it works. I'm trying to think of a show. Good Trouble. I've talked about Good Trouble on Freeform before. I'm assuming it got canceled because I don't think it ever came back, and it's been like over a year since it's been off the air. I'm pretty sure that means it's done, but Good Trouble has done a really good job at addressing all of it. Not all at once, but over time. And in a way that makes you think, wow, there were people in the room that really understood what this was and how important it was, and made sure that the stories were told in a way that was respectful, that highlighted people of marginalized groups, and still created something interesting and something that you would want to watch. I don't know what She-Hulk was. That shit was fucking weird. It was weird. It was weird, and I'm glad that it's over, and I could be done with it now. It was weird. It was weird. I think that's all I have for y'all, though. That is the end of the episode. Again, I'll have more for you next week. I think we should definitely talk about that AI dating app stuff. But like I said, I want to do a little bit more research. Oh, tweet of the week. You know what? I don't think I have a tweet of the week. Well, damn. I did not pull a tweet of the week this week. I am so sorry about that. We'll have a tweet of the week next week. But I hope that y'all enjoy the rest of your week, and just remember to be gentle with yourselves. I'm trying to do the same for me. So I will see you soon. And that's it. We're done. Bye.